Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for entertainment purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders that took place on the 13th of November 2022. May the four victims rest in peace, condolence to their families, and may the correct justice be served. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. Jack D was Kaylees' ex-boyfriend. Kaylees, one of the four victims of the quadruple murders. I found it always very interesting that at 1:35, Jack D was at the corner club. So he was one of the last people to see the two friends alive. Where did Jack D go after that is the question. Chronicles of Olivia conducted an important interview with the Congavs, and I found something very interesting. So this is for fair use purpose. Please like, share, subscribe, and please like, share, and subscribe to Chronicles of Olivia. She does a brilliant job. Excellent editing, beautiful pictures. She shows a lot of empathy, which is always appreciated since we're dealing with vulnerable people and their families. Listen carefully to what Steve Congavs says here. That's Kaylees' father. I respect all four of the victims and their families. Some people may not appreciate that Steve speaks a lot for the family. I've seen a certain YouTube creator make a fuss about it, but I think Steve is a G. Like he said, they're the G families. I believe he's a G father for standing up for Kaylee, Maddie, and the other two victims. I like Steve because Steve doesn't come across to me as someone who's biased. Neither does Xana, his parents. Like Xana's mother, because she said her say, and she wants the truth. She wants the correct justice to be served.
Why not? And I said, honestly.
We would always tell her that, yeah.
Because she's like, she knows I'm a fly guy, but we're still married 27 years, had 5 kids with a happy life. She's like, your dad's definitely called me some names.
I think it happens in any relationship,
But I think
you know?
yeah.
But it's always the people that drive you up the wall are the ones you love the most.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, she said that, and I'm just like, she's like, never.
Yeah.
Never. And I'm
We're
just
supposed to believe he just takes out 4 on his way to. It just seems like he.
Over what, custody of the dog? Like, there's just
Probably
no
Kaylee
explanation.
was leaving.
Karen was looking for every excuse for him to pick the phone up.
That's,
Read those texts. Like,
She
I
wanted
will
him
be
to
tonight
know.
with the dog if you don't pick up. That type of thing.
Aw, so yeah. And they, even when they broke up, they still communicated.
Yes,
it
every
sounds
day,
like
all the
it's
time.
like you
The
know.
whole time she was
Now,
gone.
It was just a.
They were around him.
Yeah.
Not this Jackson one over here in the corner. No, she was around her ex, you know, and to me, that's comfort level, that's body language, this is the person that I'm one.
Talked to him about the conversation that night. We talked to the other guy about the conversation that went on that night, and they both, you know, it was they were just like, hey, what's been up? Boy, how you been doing? You know, what's been going on? And she was trying to talk me into going to another bar down the street or something like that. And he's like, I worked all day. I'm tired. I'm going home. And he left and went home. And, you know, we think things could have been different.
We question
but, you know,
the time in that video.
At
We're not
times,
sure
yeah.
if it's accurate. So people might look at that and take it to, based off of the records that we have, there could definitely be some questions on the timing of that.
Right.
there should be another bar down the street or something like that. And he's like, I worked all day. I'm tired. I'm going home. And he left and went home. And, you know, we think things could have been different.
We
but,
question
you know,
the time in that video.
At
We're not
times,
sure
yeah.
if it's accurate. So people might look at that and take it to, based off of the records that we have, there could definitely be some questions on the timing of that.
Right.
Steve said clearly that based off the time stamp, there could be some questions about that. And that is what I've been saying for over a year. 01:32 a.m. Now let's compare to that. Let's compare that with the first timeline we were given, 3 a.m. If the killings happened between 3 to 4 a.m., that is exactly an hour, and we saw the headlights, the front headlights of a car flashing, obviously, was on, it was turned on. I don't know if it was going down the hill. That was at 3 a.m. So let's go to, according to the first timeline. The killings could have happened anywhere between 3 to 4 a.m. If he was here at 1:32 a.m., how long did it take Jack to get home? Didn't he pick up any food? Or did he hang longer in the corner club before he went home? Why was Jack D the last person to be ruled out? If the killings happened around 3 to 4 a.m., and if the girls managed to call Jack D 10 times, it's a bit strange. I wouldn't say it's a red flag because he could have been asleep, but it's a bit strange. It raises eyebrows. I do agree with Steve in one thing. They look comfortable. We can see Maddie with the black jacket. The black long jacket that I showed y'all that was found behind the bushes in Taylor Avenue. I always said I believe somebody dragged it out of Maddie. Maddie let the person grab the jacket, and she must have left her own jacket and tried to run. Something happened. What was told to Adam? It seems like Adam is looking at Showalter. Showalter's looking at Adam. And the guy that looks like Chief Fry, which isn't Chief Fry, but looks like Chief Fry, is looking at Adam too. Wonder what Adam is talking about. Is Adam talking about what Maddie told Kaylee? Or what Maddie told Adam? I mean, something's not right here. I always say up to today that something happened. It all started from the corner club. It led to the grub truck, then to Taylor Avenue, maybe even Linda Lane. This place is so small that if Brian Kroberger was there, we would have known. We would have heard about it by then. But we have the two Jacks here. We have Adam here. And we don't know who else was there. So at least Steve agrees that there's something up with the timeline. I think the timeline is correct, but I think there's something up with Mr. Jack D's alibi. He doesn't have to have scars or injuries in his body or in his hands or his fingers or anything. He could have used protective gloves, or some kind of protective suit, allegedly to do the crimes. So that one is not something I would really look much into, because none of these people should be off the hook. They all are in. No one should be out. I don't rule anyone out. Not BK, not the Jacks, not Adam, definitely not Adam. Adam, what did Maddie tell you? Give these 4 victims some justice. These people look like they know what's going on. Look at these 3 gentlemen standing and talking. Adam wasn't working that night. So what did he see? Was Adam dating one of the girls? I know he was roommates with Jack D, but let's not forget, Jack D was the ex. So Kaylee could have gone on with her life. Let's not forget the mayor said this was a crime of passion. Anything's possible. So we have this time stamp, which I don't believe was edited. I believe it's the right time stamp. Look at Jack D smiling and laughing with Maddie and Kaylee and talking to them. But they called him. Okay, let's count. 1:32. Wasn't the first call they made to Jack D at 2:25, 2:26? So they called Jack D 50 minutes, 45 minutes after this picture, after the timeline on this picture. Is he trying to tell us that he was asleep within 45 minutes? Why was he ruled out the last? We've heard and we know that Kaylee moved on in the relationship. But the question is, did Jack D move on? Or is this what the mayor was referring to, a crime of passion? Kaylee was moving to Austin, Texas. She had a bright future ahead. God bless her soul and the 3 other victims. But what would have happened to Jack D? Jack D looked so healthy in his previous pictures, but there was period of times he looked really rough on his Facebook pictures and social media. Even on his TikTok pictures, he looked like his fingers were injured. What was going on with Jack D? Could he have been going through something? And let's not forget one important thing. Murphy, the dog, their dog, was never harmed. I'm not a dog owner. I'm not a dog owner. but I know that dogs would bark. They may not bark if they know the intruder, if it's one of the owners, allegedly. Let's not forget, Kaylee and Maddie could have and would have taken Murphy or let him out to party, like Olivera has said before. So did someone hide Murphy so that the girls would come out searching for Murphy? And is that when something happened to the girls? Right after the last call was made to Jack D, which was at 02:52 a.m. at night, is when you hear from the police's body cam in Banfield, "Stop it, stop." It could have been coming from the house, 1122 Kings Road. It could have been coming from Linda Lane. It could have been coming from Taylor Avenue. It could have been coming from inside the house, somewhere around those areas. Did someone attack the girls then? Did someone call Jack D, or did Jack D allegedly call himself from both the girls' phones to get an alibi? I'm just asking the questions people don't want to ask. Because it is important. We need to make it make sense. I still say that there's a good possibility. I've always said that BK is involved. But what was his involvement? Was he just stalking them? Or was he buying something from the area or from their property? Or was he actually called there to be framed? Why are they demolishing the house so quickly on the 28th? No crime scene, no crime? Is that what they're trying to say? It's not fair for the jury. Seeing is believing. You have to see the rooms, the house, the floors, the outside, the inside, the roof, the basement, to where exactly the crimes took place. What are they hiding? I try to avoid using the word cover-up, but now it's starting to sound like one. Allegedly. Why would you demolish a house that carries so much evidence? Why is everyone running now to take last-minute pictures and 3D pictures of the crime scene? Leave the crime scene. It's not fair for the 4 victims. May they rest in peace. Neither is it fair for Brian Christopher Kohlberger. If they demolish the house, then I hope the defense attorney Ann Taylor and her team ask for a mistrial, because this isn't right. We're not talking about 1, 2, 3 murders. We're talking about 4 murders. People need to see where things happen. Once they demolish the house and just make 3D pictures of all, it still wouldn't make sense. You have to be inside the home. You have to be on the soil, outside, near the sliding door, to see what is probable and what's possible and what is impossible. So it's good that Steve Congavs agrees that the timestamp 0135 doesn't make sense, Jack D. Make it make sense. Where were you that night? Jack D can convince the world, but there are questions to be answered. Why were you the last one to be ruled out? You should have been the first one to be ruled out because the girls called you. Hunter was ruled out. The 911 callers were ruled out. Allegedly. And Jack D is a neighbor. So is Jack Showalter. The double Jacks. The quadruple murder breakthrough. Police zero in on University of Idaho Reserve Officers Training Corps for possible Rambo-style knife. So the Idaho Reserve Officers Training Corps in the university are in possession of Rambo knives. They could have easily lent it to the fraternity boys or sorority girls. Why was Eaton's car taken first, his Jeep and his golf set? They're still frozen in time. The car, the Jeep, is gone. The golf set is gone. The house is going. Strange. See, they just want juries to come with a guilty decision, verdict, whether Koberger did this crime or not. It's wrong. Where's the ethical morals? We know that Jack Showalter has taken pictures with 2 Rambo-style knives. And he was only 15, 16 years old then. So imagine. His parents love hunting. His brothers love hunting. They're hunting and the doctors. He could have just stole a couple of Rambo knives, 2, 3, and lent it over to his friends. And maybe he was involved too, allegedly, because his alibi sucks, just like Brian Christopher Koberger's. His alibi, in fact, is worse than Brian Christopher Koberger. He drove 7 hours, 6.5 hours to a cabin, almost 6 hours to a cabin in Boise, Idaho. There was a lot of players going from and to Boise, Idaho. We have Dylan, his boyfriend, Quincy too. And we have Jack Showalter driving back to his parents' cabin. So that's 2 people from Boise, Idaho. You have Bethany Funk, who went to Boise, Idaho High School. You have DM, Dylan, who went there too. And you have Maddie's boyfriend, Jake, although he could have been in the older batch. Point being, many of these people know each other, allegedly. Did Kaylee let Murphy go out for party? That's what her sister said before. So if that is the case, did somebody grab onto Murphy so that the girls would come out searching for him? Murphy had no evidence on him. He had no blood on him. and he wasn't hurt. I'm sure a dog would obey his owner or owners.
They were identified as freshman Ethan Chapin, his girlfriend Zana Kernodle, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan. It's being called a crime of passion. The killer or killers used an edged weapon such as a knife, police just revealed. I spoke with Kaylee Gonzalez's sister, Olivia, who described the last night of the students' lives.
My sisters did everything right. They went out in the buddy system. They went out together. They Ubered out. They stopped and got food. They Ubered home. They let their dog out to go potty. And then they locked their house up. They did everything right. And it happened.
Gonzalez's sister, Olivia, who described the last night of the students' lives.
My sisters did everything right. They went out in the buddy system. They went out together. They Ubered out. They stopped and got food. They Ubered home. They let their dog out to go potty. And then they locked their house up. Everything right.
So they did let Murphy go out to potty. What happened after that? Was that around 2:52 when we heard a female yelling, "Stop it, stop"? Did one of the girls or did both of the girls go out to get Murphy? And did someone hide Murphy and maybe grab onto the girls? Something happened.
This thing 1,000 times. I'm going to submit to you, somebody is saying stop. Now, who that is, I have no idea. But as an investigator, if I was on this case, I would say, what am I hearing here, and isolate this audio.
License? I don't have it. No, in general. Awesome birthday. Lucky birthday. You have driver's license? I don't have it. No, in general. Awesome birthday. Lucky birthday. You have driver's license? I don't have it.
Okay, now this one is the other officer who is writing a ticket, and it's a little bit further up at about 312.45, where I saw some things where people were saying, yeah, there's somebody else yelling in that. I don't think so. I think it's the officer ripping his ticket and handing it to the individual. I blurred them out because they're all juveniles. Okay? So you're going to just hear a click, and that is not somebody in the background, okay? i.e. a person. It is a ticket book. Right there. Their camera on the other officers who's up by, now facing towards the house again at also 0255-16. And this is what I think I hear.
Yeah. 19. Yeah. There is.
That one is a little clearer. Stop it, stop. I'm going to play it again. Listen.
19. Yeah. There is 21.
Karen, what do you think?
Five days later, and investigators are still finding evidence. So was the evidence scattered around? What a shame. Is that why the demolition down the house? Because everything was unprofessionally handled. We saw how they were dressed in the crime scene. This is a couple of days later, 5 days later. Now they're wearing gloves, but at the start they weren't wearing any gloves. These are serious questions to be answered. It should be addressed. Look at how swollen his face is. This is when Jack Dick came to pick up Murphy. Look at his eye. His eyelids and under his eyes, his nose, his lips are all swollen. I personally believe it was somebody who knew the girls, the surviving roommates, or knew the house. I mean inside the house, who's been partying inside this house. Why would a mayor say it's a crime of passion? This is what someone put up on social media in the beginning of the case. Someone who graduated from the university believes strongly that it was Jack D. And he said he has inside information because someone in his family works in the coroner team. Was that the reason Jack D was ruled out last? She believes Jack D is suspect number one. This is speculation only, but didn't the Congav say that Kaylee had the most wounds? We would never know because the coroner stopped speaking to the public or to the news, to the media. So we'll definitely find that out in the trial. And Jack D will definitely have excuse that he was around the victims around 1:30 a.m. in the corner club. That's why his DNA was found there. Definitely. His eye is really swollen. It is actually quite bright. Who would have taken that chance to go into a house with a dog and 6 people? I believe it's someone who knew the house. The surviving roommates know everything, allegedly. They know the truth. They were texting each other. Why did it take them 8 hours to call the police? Justice for the victims. May the correct justice be served. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your holidays. And thank you all for your support. I really